Well, officials in Texas say that thousands are being rescued from devastating floods brought on by Harvey. More rainfall is expected to hit Houston and surrounding areas. The catastrophic flooding is pushing people out of their homes, leaving thousands flocking to overflowing shelters. Anthony Tornetta with the American Red Cross joins us now by phone from Washington. Anthony, what does your operation in Texas look like right now?
Yeah, let me be very clear. This is truly is a catastrophic storm, and so one of the things that we do as an organization is stress preparation. And so we have taken steps ahead of the storm to be as prepared as possible. But you never really can be fully prepared, and so it's we have, for example, we had a shelter, an area at the convention center, and we had ended up with almost between 8,000 and 10,000 people show up, and so that's a lot. And so we're working to move many of those to an alternative shelter. And so we were just trying to make sure that the people that have been impacted are in a safe place, and do everything we can for the people, not only of Houston, but of Texas, that have been impacted by this historic storm.
The Red Cross is used to and has a well-oiled machine about helping folks in disaster relief. But what type of assistance are you providing exactly right now?
Yeah, so right now our primary focus is going to be on sheltering and feeding the people that have been displaced. A lot of people have been walking in cold water, have been, transported through the water, and we want to make sure we get them dried off. We want to make sure that we get them wrapped in a warm blanket, so to speak, a Red Cross blanket, and make sure that we give them something to eat and a safe place to stay, get out of the weather. And so that's first and foremost. That's our priority. This is not, obviously, as massive as this storm is, this is not going to be the water's not going to recede tomorrow, right? So this is going to be a long process. It's going to be a long process just till we get out of the full weather picture, and then we move forward with recovery efforts.
Anthony, can you tell us right now how many people are in shelters right now? Are they at capacity? And do you believe that you will have the space for all of these evacuees, especially as the rains are continuing?
Yes. So the American Red Cross, look, last night we saw at least 17,000 residents stay in over 45 shelters across the Houston area and Texas, all the way out to Dallas, and even into Louisiana. So we are taking every step we can to make sure that people are safe. We have the ability to provide about 40,000 safety, 40,000 people that have been impacted can stay at our shelters. And to be honest with you, again, I come back to this is not a fast recovery. And so as we evaluate each day, each morning, our teams are in meetings at 5 a.m. each morning. And so we're evaluating what's going on. If we need to open more shelters, we'll do just that.
Have you had to turn away, Tony, people at these shelters?
No, we're not going to turn anybody away.
So there has been at no point anybody turned away, according to the Red Cross, at any of these shelters?
The Red Cross is not going to turn away somebody that shows up to the shelter and needs a safe place to stay.
So within the area of Houston, do you have enough cots for these folks? I mean, where are they sleeping? Where are you stretched right now is what I'm trying to sense.
So obviously, there's a significant amount of people that have been forced into sheltering situations. And so if we need to get more cots, which I believe that we do, we're actively working with city officials to safely move resources to where they need to go. The unfortunate reality about the situation is that we can't just put 50, 100, 1,000 cots in the back of a truck and say, go down the road. We need to work with city officials to do this safely, because the last thing we want to do is put anybody else in harm's way.
So when you talk about these cots and finding housing for these folks, where are you reevaluating and where are you reworking resources that are needed the most?
Yeah, so we're going to work with city officials across the state of Texas. For example, we have shelters set up. We're setting up another mega shelter in Houston, but we're also working with city officials in San Antonio and Austin, all the way out to Dallas, Texas, and making sure that we have an ability to get people to safe areas that are dry and provide them with some sort of normalcy in a really unnormal situation.
But with these water levels rising, are you able to transport the evacuees who need shelter to these other cities like San Antonio and Houston? How do you get them there?
Yeah, the Red Cross, we're not a primary source we're not transporting the people. We're working with local city officials to make sure that the transportation takes place. So we'll make sure that they're cared for before they get into their transportation vehicles, and we'll make sure that we're there for them afterwards.
Anthony Tornetta, I want to thank you so much. We know there's so many people without homes right now and did not expect a week ago they would be in this situation. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having us.